this is The Valley, the Old Farm by BlackSheep Modding. It's 327.52 megabytes to download. The description is a little bit long, so I'll grab a few little bits out here and there. So it's a European style fictitious map with 93 fields and 18 purchasable forest plots. There's a newly installed market garden production in the city centre, which has new vegetables, and they are melon and red lettuce. Alfalfa has also been added onto the map. A little bit there about getting the farm up and running again. List of different sell points that we can visit, which is nice. There's plenty of sell points. It says you can develop a tree farming activity to produce beautiful apples, which you can sell to the bakery, which can produce wonderful apple fritters, which is nice. We can also make fries on here, which is pretty good. There's collectibles on here. It says a little bit about there grabbing water from the stream that runs through the map. Obviously we'll check that out, and the crop growth schedule is the default. So let's go and check it out, guys. And here we are. This is where you start off in all three modes, and this is the map. Very nice map. I really do like this. I really enjoyed the old stream farm and by the same modders, and this is right up there, if not better. We are actually down here. I'm in new farmer mode, so we're right outside the main starting farm. So in that mode you start off with all this. So we do have a couple of fields sort of scattered around, etc. So 94 is the main farm. That has a value of 494,000 just over. Got field 62, that's worth just over 53. 52 is 218. 93 is 59,000 just over. 95 is actually the pigsty, so we start off with that. That's got a value of just over 90 grand. And then field 2 right at the top there, that's 148 grand just over. So pretty good, nice amount of fields that we do start off with. Now in terms of the other fields and areas, not too bad to be honest with you. I think 1 is the most expensive. That's 640 grand, so a little bit pricey. And I think 29 might have been the cheapest, 26 grand. But varying prices, as you can imagine, 212, 390 grand there, like so. We do have these sort of meadows, as it says, 37 grand there, 31,000 scattered around. Most of the areas where the productions are you can't buy, but there is a couple where you can. So just here is a great processing unit. We can buy that plot for 30 grand just over, and I think the grain mill over here was the other one which we can buy for just over 24 grand. Forestry, as you can see, quite a lot of it. So this map does have a bit of everything, which is nice. I think that is the most expensive plot, 390 grand. Got a tiny little plot up there of forestry, 26 grand. And again, it's going to vary in prices. Some of these areas do have little flat placeable areas in amongst them, which is pretty cool. We should see a couple of them as we drive through the forest. But that is the map, I think. And like I say, we'll tour around the main farm and then we'll get going. Crop types on the right hand side, if I push right, we can see we do have alfalfa. I don't think there's any growing on the map, which is typical. So that is a grass type, most of you will know that. So you can mow it, you can ted it, you can bale it, so pretty good. And I'll get on to animals and things like that in a second. Stay in this menu and we'll come up. There is 12 collectibles. I haven't found one yet, but I'm wondering if there are the little black sheep like on the old stream farm, which is pretty cool. Now productions, we do start off with a farm vegetable garden, which we'll check out again. That is on our farm, and when we get to it I'll explain a little bit about it in the other two modes. So you can produce tomato, strawberries, lettuce, and then those two modded in vegetables, lettuce, red and melon. But if you look at the recipes, they require water and straw, which is a little bit different, so that's pretty cool. So we'll check that out when we go round. Contracts are available on all the other fields that you don't own, and as you can see there, we don't have any animals yet, but we do have access to 4 animal pens and pastures. because we do own all those in new farmer mode. If we scoot on up and go to the crops prices, scroll all the way down, you can see the extra things that have been added in. So just past stones is where all the new stuff begins. So we've got alfalfa, and obviously if you ted it, you can turn that into hay, which is nice. Places to sell all of these. We've got lettuce, red, melon, pallets. I'll come on to that in a second. So you can produce pallets on here, and you will need them on some of the greenhouses, etc., which we'll see again later on. You can produce fries on here, apple juice. These are the bougnon, apologies if I said that wrong. They are the apple fritters, and we've also got apples on their own. Again, you can sell all of them in the different places. Crop calendar is standard as it says, but if we scroll down to the bottom, we've got alfalfa, which has got a pretty good planting season length, and we can harvest that all year round, which is nice. I think that is all that bit I need to do. So we'll go through, let's go through mods first, and then we'll talk about slot counts. Actually, let's do slot counts, because then I can stay in this menu. Right, slot counts in new farmer mode is 1,237, and you do start off with this equipment. So medium tractors, we've got two. We've got the John Deere 7810 and a Massey Ferguson 3670. Got the Deutsche Fahr harvester, 1986 Lizard pickup, the Valga trailer, header for your harvester, got a small Pottinger plough, Amazon cultivator, got a power harrow and a seeder. If you look at the symbols on the bottom there with that seeder, you can plant alfalfa with this. So with a seeder is what you're going to use to get alfalfa in the ground. Got a low loader, header trailer, and then we've got a 10 Winkle 600 kilogram weight, which is pretty cool. If we go up to trailers actually and watch the symbols scroll across, you should see two symbols there. That is the alfalfa and alfalfa hay, so it will take those, which is nice. Now if you want to sell off all of this equipment, you can get the slot count down to 1,135. There is potential to probably lower that more, because you can sell off a couple of things, but most of the buildings on this farm are fixed in place, you can't sell. So just something to point out there. If you come on here and farm manage and start from scratch, you don't start off with any land or equipment, and the slot count is 1,135. I'll come back to that in a second. And now if we scroll down to here and we go to the map and click on that, this is modded in, so we can buy these from the store. They are pallets, so if you don't want to produce pallets by going to the carpentry factory, which we'll check out later, you can buy them from the store, and you can buy one right up to 10. So they're not very expensive, £50, euros or dollars, but you can buy up to 10, which is nice, like so. So that is the modded in thing. As in terms of placeables in sheds, we do have a couple of sheds, which you'll see as we go round. In silos, did we have? Yes, we did. A couple of bunker silos like that. Then we had in factories these two at the end, great processing unit. That's modded in because you can produce apple juice there, which again I'll show you all these when we go round. And then the carpentry, that's where you can take your planks from the sawmill and produce pallets. And then selling points, we have a modded in restaurant that is going to take some of your new products, which is cool. And then greenhouses, we have these. We have a very large greenhouse, small vegetable garden and a large vegetable garden. Again, you will see those, they are already on the map. Do have one of those on our farm. And in orchards, we have this apple tree, which is cool. So it's going to act a little bit like the olive trees, so it's going to turn out to be a production when you place one down. 1,500 to put down, which is pretty cool. So they will just need water. Place one down, fill it up with water, you'll get your apples. Pallets will spawn there, as you can see. I like that, that's pretty cool. Now that is pretty much it, but if we go into the animals, I just wanted to show you this. So all the animals that will take either grass or hay will take alfalfa or alfalfa hay. So as you can see over on the right hand side with the cows, they will take alfalfa or alfalfa hay. Same with the horses and same with the sheeps, or sheep should I say. Chickens is interesting. If we click on that, they will take sunflowers, corn, red lettuce and normal lettuce, and we'll have a look at that in a second. So that's pretty interesting. I quite like that. There was nothing in decoration, landscaping. We'll do the painting textures. There's a fair few in here. Animal mud, concrete, grass, dry grass, gravel, gravel dirt, gravel dust, gravel grass, gravel moss, pathway, pathway gravel, riverbed and riverbed and wet mud. And then I think in plants there was one added in grass, I think that is. So yeah, so we've got grass, meadow, and I think that's meant to say small grass. So you can place that down. I think that is it, guys. So we will crack on. So we start off here outside the main farm, like I say. Just over here we have a trailer. Now this is also your reset point. So if you buy anything from the shop, it will appear here. They will deliver it. That's very nice. And if you get stuck anywhere, this will be your reset point back at the farm. I like that. Cool. So there's our low loader. There is a ton of storage on this map, on this farm as well even. So we've got all this little gate there we can open. Oh, smacked in the face. Open the gates. Remember that gate? I'll show you that in a second. That leads in through there. Right, let's get into the farm. So through these gates they will open outwards as well, so be careful. They are individual, so you'll have to open both of them separately. And just in here on the left we have two of these. Now these are the bale and pallet storage, what got added in, I think, the update for the most recent one. And they are under silos. So this is them here. So they are base game now. They've been added in on one of the updates. But what the map makers have done, if they've placed these in, modded them into here, which is pretty cool. So if I come up here, I've left all the help menu on and the field info so you can see the information. So 250 bales or pallets. Now I haven't had a chance to mess around with these storage things, so I don't know if you can mix and match or it's just got to be one or the other, so I'm not quite sure. Hopefully someone obviously will know, they've tried it already. So place in, out, and like I say, there's another one over here. Obviously you can still use this to put your machinery and equipment in. As you can see, we do have tractors, seeders and things like that. Now what I like about this is up here we do have, oh, fell off the ladder, excuse me, up here. Oh, come on, I went straight up there earlier. There we go. We've got this huge open space up here. It goes all the way around there, so you can place bales, pallets, whatever you want to do up here. Now if you come to these, press that, it drops the fence down, so you can place your pallets and bales up there a lot easier. And not only that, if you don't want to have these storage things here, if you want to get rid of them and just store your bales, pallets up the top there where I'm stood, you can sell these, which is pretty good. I like that. It will get rid of them. Very nice indeed. And like I say, this runs all the way around there. We'll check that out in a second, but for now we're going to drop back down and carry on round here like so. So as you can see, we've got our equipment here. Just inside this door we've got a medium petrol tank. It is empty but it will hold 10,000 litres, obviously you can fill it up from there, which is cool. Again, loads of storage inside. Got a workshop trigger just here, and there's your trigger to get it going. Just over here, we'll go over to the corner, we got a chicken coop. So this will hold 150. I am going to buy 60. These will appear in there and all out through this yard. They don't go any further through there. They will all appear out around here, but they're pretty cool. Eggs will spawn there. There's your feed trough, like so. Now if I do go onto the animal menu, there's chickens. As you can see, it says grain 100%. We've got corn at 50 and lettuce at 50 as well. Now your sunflowers do come under the grain. I did test that, but then obviously corn and lettuce, pretty self-explanatory. So I think that's pretty cool that they've added that in there. It gives you a few options to feed your chicks. Up into here, we can go into the farmhouse, which has been nicely done. This is your wardrobe function, just here by your coat. We can go all in through like so. Your sleep triggers just here, so we can sleep through the night, and again we can go all through here. Now one thing I did notice, you can go through these doors, which is a bit, you can't open them but you can walk through them, so that's one thing I noticed. It's not too bad though. I don't think you can go through these. No. Again, storage there, our pickups in there, loads of storage. Now this is our silo. This is a multi-fruit. I'm not sure on the total capacity, but going by the Old Stream farm, I should imagine it will hold quite a bit. If we walk just inside, we can turn on these lights like so, which is pretty cool. Round the back here, again, more storage, absolutely tons on the farm. I won't open all the doors, but as you can see, these are some of the modded in buildings. All this over here, little garage. Got 2 bunker silos, decent size over here. You can walk up the steps if you like. A little bit more of a storage area. This isn't a bunker silo, as you can see by the help menu. But if we run round the back, this is pretty nifty what they've done. We come to these little levers and press that. There's 2 ramps around here, again individual, but you can back up into here and tip straight over the edge if you want to go down that route instead of backing in right to the end. That's pretty nice. And this is our cow pasture, very nice barn. We do have a slurry point here. You can open this gate if you wish to. So your slurry will appear here, collect it from there. These little netting things will open, which is cool, so you can drive in and out here. All these doors will open like so. Your feed and straw for your cows is just in here. And then through here, if you've played the Old Stream farm, if you look at bottom right, field info, manure heaps, so this is where your manure is going to appear. Now even though there's symbols here, which is normally like a filling up icon for your trailers, etc., it won't work. You will need to muck out the manure yourself with a shovel or, you know, bucket on a front loader, etc. So that's pretty cool, and you can always bring it out here and tip it into this area, build it up if you want, and then do whatever you wish to with it. Quite like that. That's a nice idea. I enjoyed mucking out my cows on the Old Stream farm. Now out this way we've got a dialogue box. I am going to buy some cows. We'll just go for some cheap ones because I want to show you. I'll buy a few. I'll quickly do this bit and then I'll show you the pasture. Round here is going to be your milk collection point, and again we can drive all the way through if you wish to. Now your cows, they are going to appear out in here. This is awesome. I love this cow pasture. All the way through here they will appear. They will go in underneath this bridge, and they've got all this area as well, which is huge. And then that gate I showed you at the very start is that gate there, so you can come in and out there. Now you could plough this up before you got your cows, put some decent grass down, come in and mow it. There's their feed sorted. Happy days. Right, let's move on because there's quite a lot to get through. Again, another cool area here. So this is our farm vegetable garden. This is a small one, so you've got to put water in there and then your other ingredients there. Pallets will spawn over there, but if we click on this, as you can see, tomato, strawberry, lettuce red and melon. They need water and straw, which again is something different. That's pretty cool. So you're going to need to put water and straw in there. So straw over there and your water point there. And like I say, pallets will appear there. Now, if you do come on here in Farm Manager and start from scratch, because you don't own the land, none of these triggers will obviously show up. All the buildings are on this farm here. As soon as you buy the land, purchase the land, all the triggers will appear. You can open the gates, you can open the doors to the buildings I've just showed you, and you can use this, and this will appear in your productions menu like so. So just something to note. So if you want to use all this, you need to buy that plot of land. Again, lots more storage around here. This one is actually our sheep pasture, so feed in there, your pallets of wool over this side, you can drive through if you want. And we do have the dialogue box over here. This will hold 100 sheep, and we can go in and out of this gate. They obviously will appear out there behind me, which is nice. Again, more storage. These do have lights on, so if I go to there, and there's a light switch either side, which is cool. There's light switches in there and there as well. Very nice. Around this side, even more storage. Tons of it. Our header trailer and our harvester ready to go in our wheat field. As you can see, tractor trailer is also there. Now, we've got these. A bit like the pallet storage up the top. If you come up to these and press that, it gets rid of the fence. And you can put it back. They do have collisions, but as soon as you get rid of it, they're gone. There's no collisions, and these do not have collisions either, which is good. Now, hoping that you can do this to any field that you don't own, because I came on here in Farm Manager and came up to this fence. We didn't own any land at that point, and it still let me remove the fence, should I say, because technically we don't own this field here. All we own is that wheat field, so it's letting you get rid of these fences even though you don't own the land, which is pretty cool. Right, that is the farm, guys. I feel like I've gone on a little bit too much. Apologies for that. I'm trying to show you as much as I can. I'm going to add in some money, and then we'll jump in the pickup and we will get going. So I will see you in a bit. Right, let's try not to run over the chickens. Let's get going. So we're going to head up this way. Like I say, absolutely stunning map this. I love it. Very good lighting. There's some really cool detail on here. I just love the way the roads sweep down like this and then they go up. And it just looks like the you know, the area of the map just goes on for miles. Look, you can see all the mountains. Got really good edge of the map. Right, on our left, this is our pigsty. I will stop there. Hopefully it won't cause chaos. Now obviously you don't start off with this in Farm Manager or start from scratch. You will need to buy this plot separately. This will hold 270 pigs. They will all appear out there. We do have another manure collection point in there. Again, same thing with the cows. It will just appear. You'll have to muck them out yourself, which is cool. Feed and straw through here. This does have lights like so, which is cool. And then out the back we've got our slurry collection point again, like so. There's quite a bit of storage on here as well. We do have this cool shed which you can drive all the way through. Again, got lights on. Or in, should I say, not on. More storage, and then just there, more storage. So that is our pigs. We need to swing round. We're going to take a little trip through the forest. We will have to do this again a bit later, drive through the forest. So it is a little bit bumpy in here. So I'll zoom in a little bit so you can still see where we're going. So yeah, I think even if you clear a load of these trees, I don't think you're gonna have many areas that are gonna be flat for either sort of placeables or putting fields in. It's gonna be a little bit iffy here and there. Right, we made it out. So again, just look at it. All the mountains in the distance. Very, very cool. Right, around here and down. We go across the stream again, which obviously runs across the map. And we are going to the grape processing unit. So that's going to be one of the places we will buy, because we can produce our apple juice there. It's exactly the same building, as you can see, so it's going to be the same sort of idea as you're used to if you do it. So just in here, 80 grand, and if I click on that, we can produce raisins, grape, and there's your apple juice. So just bring your apples there, that's all you need to do. Happy days. Jump back in here, and then we need to go down this track here. No we don't, I've missed something, apologies, getting ahead of myself now. We need to go in here, so that will open. We've got a weigh station. This is our oil mill, as you can see, tip in there, pallets there. This is a standard oil mill. I'll only show you the ones that produce extra things and buy them. And just in under here we have a sell point. This is, it's either ETS France Cereals or ETS Cereals, but it's like a main sell point. So back out of there, and now we'll go across into here, because down the far end there is an area which we can purchase. Just look at it. Very nice indeed. So we will stop here. Need to go onto the map. So yeah, we came down, we went up into the pigs, through the forest, up there, and we are now here. If we buy plot 22, 102 grand just over, that then produces a cow pasture. So there is a cow pasture here, guys. I can go in. This will hold 200 cows. Water trough, feed trough in the middle out there. Now it does say they produce milk. Bottom right it is saying that, but I could not see any milk trigger. We're all the way along round here. I didn't test it, so apologies for that. Whether it's kind of at the entrance here, I'm not quite sure, but I couldn't see a trigger at all. So it is showing they will produce milk. Right, moving on from there, I'm going to have to go up this grass verge because I need to get back onto this main road. Otherwise we'll end up underneath that bridge and completely out of where we need to be, really. And then we're going to go right. Just up in here we have our animal dealer, which also has a sell point. This is for your bells, etc. What I like as well, you've got a trigger there where you can back a trailer into that little area and still get the trigger come up, which is cool. I like that. Right, back out of there. And then if we go down here, I think, so we've got a built up residential area here, which is nice. Just there, you can see the trigger, that is our restaurant sell point. And then if we go up in round the back here, this is our farm shop, or it's the Le Jardiniers one, but it's basically a farm shop sell point. Up into here we've got our dealership, John Deere one, so you can see the shop icon inside, so you can go inside if you go down that route buying your machinery. Got a fuel point just here, so you can fill up. And then round the back there's a huge workshop area. You can do your customization and repair. And obviously remember I did say at the start, your reset point's down at the main farm, not up here. I jump out because we have a cool little sell point just here, so you tip in there, and this is Chez Mimish Ed Fredo. So you can sell things like potatoes, fries, bread, I think, there. So it's a pretty cool little sell point. From there, yes, we have this area. Now, hopefully I won't get blocking the traffic. So again, this is an area we need to buy. So I'll quickly show you again. So we ended up up here, cow pasture, went up, got back onto this road, animal dealer. I went down to the restaurant, up to the farm shop. In that shop, that sell point, and we're now here. So if we buy this plot for just over 85 grand, then these three appear. So we've got a small vegetable garden, we've got a large one, and then the large greenhouse, which is pretty cool. These guys are the same for as the farm, but there's got one thing different about them. So if we click on that, you are going to need pallets for these, so you need to put your water and straw in and pallets, so you need to do that, and the same for that one. Also same for this, but this is a cool mod. Pallets will appear there, tip in there, water, tip in there as well. And again, you're going to need, oh yeah, this one's a little bit different. So this will need water, solid fertilizer, straw, manure and pallets. Now there's no other recipes there, because some of these that we've had before, you can either just do water, then you can do water, solid fertilizer and seeds, and then you could do water, manure and seeds. But this one to me is saying that that needs all of that. So water, solid fertilizer, straw, manure and pallets. A little bit of a workup, but I expect the production rate is pretty good. We've got some storage again over there, like so, which obviously you will only be able to use if you own that plot. Right, so we did all this area. We're going to come out, we're going to head on out up this way, do this bit like so. On our left we have a fuel station, and then we've got one way in, one way out to here. This is our sugar mill. Again, this is all pretty standard. I did buy all the productions just to double check, so that's all standard. Back out past the fuel station, and then I think we need to take this route. Oh, the curbs are a little bit high, so you are going to bump into them. That is our dairy. Again, all standard. Again, I love the way this climbs up there, a little bit bumpy there. In this area, we'll go in here first. This is pretty cool, I like this. This is another production that's been added in. It's not a stone sale point, this is a lime production point. So you can buy this for £1, euro or dollar, so dirt cheap. And look at the ratios as well, 2,000 stones in, 4,000 lime out. So you're doubling what you put in, which is pretty nifty. So stones in there, your lime will come out through there. Very nice. And then around this side we do have our grain elevator sale point, so up in there. What I love about the sale points and productions, they've all got very good access in and out, plenty of room as well, so that's pretty cool. Now down in here is going to be our BGA, so we do have a weigh station there if you want to use it. Bit of shed storage space, and over there in and out 2 huge bunker silos, and we've got the elevated bit, and then we can sweep back down. This is a bit pricey. It's 1.5 million to buy, but if you buy it from this point, it will be 1.5 million, just over, or 1,585,824, because what that does, like some of them are doing lately, is including the land. So you can buy the land on its own if you wish to, and you could probably put a few things down here and there. So 85,000 just over for that, but if you buy it from there you get both. So a little bit expensive, and it is just a standard BGA. Right, from there we're going to come down like that, we're going to cut through there, and we're going to make our way down into that part of the map. Now it should be all over, guys. I hope you're all going to stay to the end. It is definitely worth it. Do feel a little bit rusty. It's been a long time since I've done a map tour. If you've followed my channel regularly, you'll know I've been out of action for a little while, moving house and whatnot. So yeah, it's good to be back, but I need to get back in the swing of things because it's been a while. Right, we're going to go down this little track because this is where we can produce our fries. Same building as the grape processing unit by the look of it. So just here we can buy this for 50 grand, and there's your recipes. So sunflower oil and potatoes, and we're going to get our fries. So tip in there, your pallets in under there like so. There is your fries. Right, out of here. And we're going to go in here. We've got a few things going on in here. The biomass heating plant just there. A little bit of a placeable area, as you can see. Got one way in and out, so make sure you don't get told off going the wrong way. First up on the left, we've got our carpentry. So again, usual sort of setup, but with this one, if we buy it for 60 grand, as you can see, you bring your planks here from the sawmill, which is literally next door. You can either produce furniture or those pallets, which obviously you will need if you're going to be using those greenhouses and large vegetable patches, whatever they were. Sawmill, that is standard. Usual setup. And now we're going to need to go through the forest again. Now this one is a little bit rough through here, so bear with me, guys. I just thought it would be pretty cool to show you a bit in here, and it works out to be the sort of best route for the way round I chose. Because sometimes that's one of the worst things when you load up into a map. You're like, right, how am I going to tackle this? Which way round am I going to go? But look how bumpy this is. Now I've got to remember, I've got to stay right, I think. Yes, up here. Whoa, look at that. That's going to be challenging, isn't it, if you've got a big trailer full of logs as well. Right, only a few things left to see, guys. So we are out. We're out of the abyss. There's a huge field on our right. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll just quickly show you this one as well. Look. So there you go. That's removed that fence. We don't even own that plot, which is pretty good. Right, straight across in front of us is our grain mill, like so. Pretty standard again, in and out. We just got to make sure we don't bump into that guy. Probably will overtake him though. He keeps braking for some reason. We're going to go all the way up. Just look at those trees, they just look like they go on forever. That's obviously clearly right outside of the map. I really like that, what they've done there. Right, in here. Please don't... Oh, I knew you were going to do that. Turn left. Dear oh dear. Right, this is our bakery. So again, we will buy this. 50 grand. And there's what we can produce. So bread is standard. Cakes is interesting. They have thrown in melons and apples, as well as all the other ingredients. So that is going to take a while to produce cakes. They're really trying to push you to use those two new products, I think, on here. And there's your bougnon berachon, which is your apple fritters. So you need flour, sugar, eggs, and your apples to produce those, which is pretty cool. Where's the truck? There it is. And in here on our right hand side we got the pizzeria sale point. And then one thing last left to see. Let's hope I don't miss my turning like I did on my little pre-run round. Just there it is. Completely missed that last time. And there we go, it's our spinnery. Standard spinnery, nothing special about it. A little bit of storage here and there. But that is it, guys. That is the map. That's the Valley, the Old Farm by BlackSheep Modding. So yeah, we went all up round here. We did this area, quite a bit going on there. Did the BGA, came down, took this track, Fry's factory, in here, biomass, carpentry, sawmill. Then we went all the way through this forest, into the grain mill, down here, bakery, pizzeria, spinnery. Done the whole lot. So let me know your thoughts on it, guys. I think it's an awesome map, and I hope you have stayed till the end. Apologies for it dragging on, but like I say, I'm a bit rusty, and obviously I wanted to show you everything that I thought was necessary. But if you have enjoyed it, please hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. That would be fantastic. And don't forget to smash the bell so you don't miss any future videos of mine. I've been Farm Sim Snowy. Stay frosty.